in the middle of the call.
What happens? You just...
Did it sound glitchy for anybody for a moment?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I was worried it was my computer. I was like trying to get my computer closer to the Wi-Fi. I was like, what's going on?
I was closing windows. I was like, as fast as I could, I was closing windows.
Yeah, I got in panic mode because I was like, what? Like suddenly from 1 second to the next one, my computer froze and it was not moving anywhere. And I was like, oh my God, this is luckily you were talking, Tam. So I was like, oh God, good grace.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good call for it to happen in because so many of the stewards show up to that, you know? So it's like you got backup and backup, backup and backup of backup, backup.
You are right. Thank you for that, though.
I have some feedback on the slides. Maybe we can go through it. Those were great, man. Good job, Acid Laser. I know he's not in this call, but good job. Those are great. What a difference from the MD5 file, right?
I know.
Very cool. All right. Hey, folks. Okay.
Hey.
So maybe we'll get started with let's do the temperature check we always do. So I'm going to pass it to Livia to, what's going on in the Livia world? SoftGov and TEC, rewards, what's going on? How's it feeling? And then pass it around.
Oh, in the Livia world, well, this week is super intense with the research group because we're having hours and hours every day to just make sense of everything. And there's this conference Friday that I hope all of you guys will go. It will be super interesting. There's 8 hours of content, of talks, and it's just been mind-blowing, and we're having to coordinate a lot internally just to continue making sense of everything happening. But also I just feel more and more excited about praise every time because it just feels like I don't know, something that we can make so much with it. We can expand in so many directions. And I do think it helped us so much to build this culture and to help people feel seen. And maybe now we're in this mud moment that there is so much of the praise to be quantified and we're not really seeing how this is going to move forward. But I think once this starts happening, it will be a big relief and everything will fall on track for everyone again. And yeah, just in general, I feel like there's a flow in the TEC as always, and that our organizational structure is really grounded and we can move confidently through it. And I'll pass to Vivaldi.
What's the question? Sorry, I wasn't around for a while.
Yeah, it's just a temperature check just to see how you're feeling personally, things in the community that maybe we should bring up. Just a feeling of what's going on in the community, how things are feeling for you personally or for the working groups that you're a part of.
Well, I'm really excited about the rewards working group and what's going to happen. I'm slightly worried about the praise backing. It might be delayed, so the praise launch might be shifted after New Year. Slightly worried about that. And yeah, I'm trying to make sense of SourceGrid for now. I just keep feeling that SourceGrid could have been made slightly better. It's more complex than it needs to be. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And I'm hopeful to see how things go forward.
I've heard that about SourceGrid from multiple sources.
And pass it on to Honka.
Thanks, Vi. Well, I will be covering SEPTI recording this call and the rewards call. So It's great to be able to coordinate and collaborate between different working groups. I want to praise Mitch because he will present today in French, and that's great. And I have a lot of questions. Yeah, it was hard to present the dashboard to in the gravity coordination call, and we have a lot of questions regarding the funding proposal and how to really like have a good strategy and how to DAOify gravity. And yeah, I even wrote to Griff because like one thing is to say it, another is to do it, and really like this idea of DAOifying is not easy, and yeah, it's something that it's a great challenge that I'm happy to be facing. And I will pass it to Nate.
Yeah, I think everything's really good. Temperature check wise, I think that I would like, I know we harp on it a lot, but using gravity more and making sure that we're attacking these types of potential conflicts early. So if you see anything, let's figure out how to use the gravity type form more frequently. And I'll pass it to Chewy.
Sorry, I just came in. What is the question again?
Just the temperature check. Yeah.
Okay. Can I pass it to someone else? Sorry, I just got in and I'm a little bit distracted.
Sure, I can take it from you. The temperature is hot, man. We're pushing really hard with Giveth right now, and it just feels so good. Like everything is flowing really well, and so but then I look at like what the TC has as like the onboarding crew and all the infrastructure that the TC has, and then I look at the skeleton crew over at Giveth, and I'm like, wow. TC is doing it well. This is the thing. We are just killing it. Like I was looking at, we were just in a call to like, oh, a DApp node, like, man, maybe they could help us with the launch or something like that. And it's like, who? DApp node has nobody. All these crews, all these teams, there's so much, like we have such a powerhouse crew in this community. It's incredible, the community that we've built. So I don't know. I feel like I think we do recognize it, but man, I don't even know if we could appreciate it from just like relative to other projects, how well we're doing. So yeah. And more specifically, dashboard parties with working groups seem to be going really well. The dashboard is done. The actual demo is happening. So like as far as like temperature check on my working groups, they're like done. It's amazing. We're just going through the motions. So really loving all of that, all of that movement. I'll pass it to Lauren.
It's like Griff was saying when he said temperature check hot. Oh my god! But it's like for me, I'm like not like this is hot and great. I'm like this is hot and I'm going to die. Things are really super really intense right now. Like getting set up for the Giveth launch, and I was actually thinking of reaching out to some people in the TEC and just doing kind of like pre-economy, getting you guys into like see what we're doing. Yeah, it's really interesting, like the way that everything is coming together. I think I do really like the pre-am parties for working groups, and I think it's been like really good to get more participation with people like looking at the params. Yeah, I'm feeling personally like super duper stretched, like so exhaustively thin that I'm gonna like break down. But that's how I feel. I'll pass it to Olivia.
I got already. Tam, okay.
Yeah, sure, I'll go. I'm feeling a little stretched thin too, actually, but a lot of it has to do with like just this a massive amount of unexpected work, like my family, my personal life is just suddenly like priority. So I'm like still scrambling. I don't know if that makes sense. So I'm really trying to be strict with my prioritization of what doesn't get done. and ask for help. Actually, just today I was like, I need to ask more people for help. People, like, we help each other. That's what we do here. So that's actually something on my mind. So you guys, your DMs are open. I'll be asking everyone here for more help. I want to say I really enjoyed doing the dashboard, the configuration, the params party in Communitas, because I was responsible for doing it. I spent a lot of time trying to understand every little piece, and I really, really enjoy what we've done. And I'm even more blown away now, actually, than I was last week, because it's really extraordinary that there's so much information in that dashboard that can enable people to make informed decisions. And I almost skipped orientation today, but then I was like, nah, I gotta have that hit. And it worked! It was so cool! There are so many people. Orientation is like the best call of the week. You just get such high vibes afterwards. So I don't know if I'll ever skip it again. I might be addicted to our orientation call now. And I'll pass to Eduardo.
Thank you. I don't know how. Oh, here we go. So I'm in the middle of the jungle at the moment. So my temperature is, I guess, Lauren and Griff, it's hot because they are in the middle of Costa Rica and summer there it's crazy. So maybe it's because of that. I don't know. But yes, hype of orientation call. I also recommend everyone here to take probably one day and jump into orientation call. It's fun sometimes. Besides that, I wanna sort of echo what Pam mentioned regarding help, because for me right now, mainly sometimes Septimus, sometimes Tam are my main support system at the moment when something happens in my working group, and sometimes in my working group or in my work here, and sometimes I feel hesitant to do it because some outside this space, ask for help is seen as a sense of weakness, and I love how here that cultural practice is changing and we are seen as we are better together. So I think it's something I should incorporate more and also offer help, not only expecting people to ask for help, but also offering it when we see it. We work together very closely. So I don't know, my temperature check, it's hopeful and greenery at the moment. Back to you, Tam.
Shui, how are you feeling? You ready for a temperature check?
Yeah, sorry about that. The temperature right now is getting super high really quick. In communications, it's just that the call is starting to get like this feeling about more people like belonging to it and interacting with it. So I just want the comments are great to happen already. I'm so anxious for that and to see everything that we have been working on in practice. I know we're still some steps behind, but yeah, it's just it's getting very, very exciting, and new contributors are just finding their way much easier than they were 3 months, 6 months ago. It's unbelievable. So big praise to Communitas for all of the work that everyone is doing there. And I think I was the last one, maybe Bye V. I don't know if you went already.
Zep, I think I went, but Zep, did you go?
No, I didn't. And actually, it's a bad week for me. I don't have internet since Monday. But actually, what you guys were saying is so true. Like, I feel like super supported. Like, Ivy, Juan, and Tam are getting all the recordings. Ivy is managing all of them. And then also Livy was offering some help with the OBS. So yeah, I feel very supported. But yeah, I feel also a bit stressed, like being like in English, the data states. These gigabytes of the phone going down, and I have to do a mega presentation. So I hope, survive that. But yeah, I feel supported. I'll pass it. Yeah, it was the last one. Back to you, Tom.
Cool. Okay, so we're going to speed through these pretty quickly. Update your sprint issues, please. Please update your sprint issues, even if you do it on this call. I know we're all doing 4 things at the same time. but it does help. It helps people know what's going on with other working groups and in other teams. ETH Denver, who's going? I think that some of us have received the notices that we're able to go. So can everyone just put your name here? Of course, Griff is going. If you are going, Chewy, like just jump in and throw your names in if you know you're going, so we could get an idea of who's going to be there. And I'm going to leave that on because we have something really important to get to today. Reminder, dates for voting. I don't know that I need this here, but I'd like to keep it like front and center on my mind. So just a reminder that these are our dates. The 16th, the proposing is ending. Just to be clear about something, on the 17th, can people no longer propose? Or are we like closing the proposals, or people can still propose, but they have a less chance of being successful because they were, okay, cool. So people can, okay, yeah. Okay, got it, cool. So and people can.
I imagine on the 17th, 18th, there might be a couple forks that want to come out. A couple people want to fork something, just like, oh, that's a really good proposal, but one thing I just want to change, you know?
Experience has taught us.
Yeah, a reminder too that on the 16th, we're gonna evaluate the proposals that are there, seeing if we can move forward or not.
Okay, cool. Yes, good point. And people willing to advocate. And then basically the 21st to the 7th is this lull period where I guess we will be able to package up the top 3 to 5 and create these voter pamphlets. Did everyone see the article Nate posted? Actually, so can I just celebrate our Medium today? You know, Medium's been one of our retrospective things for so long. We have 2 new articles. Yay, Nate! Yay, Nate, and yay, Gideon. So this is a really great article that Gideon took on about writing for Communitas, about how we onboard. I think it's a really great article, and I'd encourage everyone to read it. But Nate posted this. Did everyone see this? It basically does this comparison of the 3 working proposals. And I imagine this would be something like what we will have for that voter pamphlet, a sort of comparison side by side of the different proposals. So it's a nice kind of thing for us to look at for inspiration. And that will be the time that we do that. And then January 13th would be the end of the runoff vote, which I think, as Cherie said, we're all looking forward to. Just want to cover the critical pieces of work for the Commons upgrade, the demo, which is in progress, the covenant, which was posted on the forum. Olivia, you want to give a quick update on what happens next?
Yeah, so we had discussed this before, that it's going to be submitted to Snapshot, just because it usually it will have to go to the Hatch DAO, but because we have kind of a bad interface for the Hatch DAO now, and not many people pays attention into it, I think because it's the first one, we can propose on Snapshot, and then it can go to the Hatch DAO, and we don't need to promote so much that vote. We know within us we have voting power to pass that proposal, but just to bring it to the awareness of the community. So I'll post on Thursday, tomorrow, just so the vote is open until Monday.
Okay, cool, excellent. Yay. And then of course the voting and of course the legal, but there's no actions to take there. The funding proposals, which are all in progress. So unless there's anything that anyone wants to say about critical pieces of work before the Commons upgrade, I'm gonna move on to the next piece.
Oh yeah, Griff, you mentioned the covenant needing to pass through legal first. Do you think we still need to do that? Or maybe just sending over to Ivy and...
Yeah, just have Ivy review it and see if she has any thoughts. I think that's probably fine. I mean, it's just legal advice process, you know? It's like they should at least someone from who feels like they can wear a legal hat should at least give a check mark.
Okay, cool.
And there's a new contributor to the legal. I don't know how far that's gone, but somebody was interested, and perhaps this is someone that would be interested in assisting with this one task.
Sweet.
So the community, so I shared this last week. I'd like to say this is not a draft anymore. It's a living document, so it's always going to be changed. So I don't want to say that's, final and click and we'll never change it. But the things that I added around, oh, thanks for fixing that computer. Oh, wait, we didn't. Okay. The things that I added were the onboarding and offboarding section, mainly, to be honest, because that was the new section that came out of the funding proposal thinking. And commitments, actually, these three key components of being active and present, serving leaders in the know, and how important that is for active stewardship. I definitely welcome anyone to jump in and make any comments on it, but for now, I'm going to consider it's not in draft anymore. All right, Chuy, I know you added the Gnosis on-chain, but before you do that, I think it's really important to welcome the new stewards. So we have two amazing people in our community who have accepted the, I think ViViV actually accepted, but maybe we'll have a conversation with ViViV too, who's accepted being a new steward in the TEC. So ViViV, maybe I'll just take this moment to read the nomination out loud. So Vi started contributing to the TEC around February or March of this year. Since then, he's made himself an indispensable part of the TEC. He contributes to multiple working groups and work streams. For some time, he has been single-handedly supporting and improving our Discord and the other coordination tools that we depend on to exist. More than that, he is warm and welcoming, humble and informative. His voice and expression brings harmony and good vibes. All interactions with Vi are a pleasure. There's an extra cool factor that he will be our youngest steward, maybe even the youngest steward in any DAO, but I feel that he's really earned the nomination through many months of constant and consistent high-quality contributions and interactions. We also have nominated Lauren, who has 100% accepted and is definitely going to be a great addition to our stewards group. And I'll also read the nomination for Lauren. Does anyone else watch Lauren present the Commons configuration dashboard and wonder how she isn't already a steward? When she started contributing to the TEC, she had been singularly focused on parameters. Remember the Goldilocks proposal for the hatch? But since then, she's been a lot more present in other work streams, as well as has brought a confident, willing voice willing to disagree, and insights from her excellent understanding of the Commons parameters that have enriched our dialogue and understanding. So I'd like to say just honor Lauren and honor Vi. And now we're going to put Vi on the spot, actually, because he hasn't 100 officially accepted yet. So Vi, would you mind sharing with us whether you, what concerns you have actually? I'll let you speak for yourself.
First of all, I'd really like to appreciate the nomination. It's great. I'm really honored by all the students who did it. I'm slightly unsure regarding the fact that, I'm still not a very experienced person inside Web3. So I'm wondering if I'd be a good steward for the token engineering commons, which is essentially intended to be the space where we form protocols and we form standards for token engineering. I think I'm not the best person to steward a community that supports the technology that I'm not a very proponent user of / expert in / aware of. So that's definitely something that's on my list of concerns.
Can I jump in quickly and just say neither am I? And probably many people in this room. I don't know that it's necessarily about being a great token engineer. It's being a great person in our community that helps other people find their way and grow and learn more. And I think, my opinion is that you've been doing this, actually. You've been stewarding the TEC, and this is just formalizing what you've already been doing. But at maybe Livia, if you want to jump in and share some thoughts, pass it around.
Yeah, I think there's so much of the culture that we are all building together, and then at this point, we are the best people to inform others about the culture that we've been living. It's not like a knowledge that is outside of us or that we have to reach somewhere, but is this being present and being communicative and being able to connect among many working groups and like be this glue, right, of the TEC. And I think you've been doing that so much already, of just like connecting so many working groups and all the challenges they have with like your bot wizardry and all of the things that you know so well how to like quickly provide an answer for. And if you don't know the answer, you also know how to communicate that, and other people can help and come into assistance. And I think that's mostly what we mean about being stewards, just people that can continue to keep the culture alive.
And if I may, I would like to also add that you are one of the constant persons on the TEC Lounge, and is this feeling of you want to connect with people and how warm you are outside, how good you are in your technical aspect, is also how you engage. And even though you are busy with a lot of stuff, even though you are your time, your university, everything, you take time to do human contact with the rest of the community. And that's key for me in a steward. That also is not only focused on the technical part of whatever they're stewarding, but also this willingness to connect with others. So thank you for that.
Yeah, I mean, I want to sort of go back to this diagram for a minute, because when I really think about what it means to be a steward, and we were thinking about what does it mean to get compensation for being a steward, it's those three things. You know, you're active and present, as all of the stewards, and act as a servant leader. So really good at listening, really good at sharing, drawing, and supporting other people, helping other people grow. And you know many things about the TEC, who's doing what, where to go for what information. So yeah, I just want to give it back to you, Vi, for a minute to just say, you know, if you have some uncertainty, maybe we can not make it official now and give you some more time to think about it. Or if you have certainty, then we can do a welcoming ceremony along with Laura now. So I'd like to know how sorry we didn't get to do this before this call, guys. We're doing it on live.
Yeah, I do have some uncertainty. Another like factor, another concern is like time. I don't know if I'll have the time to like properly steward the community, like provided I have like 25 hours a week DAO stuff, and I give 20 of those to Griff, so I'm not sure like how things would evolve moving forward. Especially with respect to like if I would like give the community justified amount of time to be able to steward it properly.
I really love and appreciate that, actually, that you know, you are, you know, I think being a steward is actually a real, it needs to be taken as a real role. So I definitely appreciate that, and that you have some hesitation about whether you'd be able to do it. Maybe we say we can continue the conversation over the next week and see how you feel in that time.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool, excellent. All right, in that case, we're celebrating one new steward, and she's an excellent one. So I'd like to start with just saying maybe the first time I saw Lauren and was in conversation with Lauren, I think was around the Hatch dashboard, and her presenting the Hatch dashboard with so much knowledge. And I remember thinking, oh wow, she knows everything about this. I have a lot to learn. And that was like it's a really cool feeling. And I think that she's been so active and present in a lot of our stewards calls and making really what did I say? Not timely, but like voicing a different opinion and making timely contributions, considerations. I don't know, bringing different perspective that I really appreciate. And I'll give everyone a minute and a half or so to share when you first started interacting with Lauren, and maybe what was your impression and what do you appreciate about her joining the Stewards group. And I'll pass to Eduardo.
Sure. Thank you, Tim. And for me, the connection with Lauren is less technical. It's the fact that also her dad lives in my state, which is, I mean, for you it may sound silly, but I come from a very such a small part of the world, and that someone actually knows this little corner of the world, it's such an amazing thing for me to realize in this corner of the internet. And also the fact that we always have this, while everyone is talking about this stuff, we always talk in Discord, in the chat, about what are you eating today and what are you doing. We send gifts, and it's so much fun to have this human being to connect with. And I look forward to actually meet you quite soon and give you a hug to congratulate you for being a steward. And thank you so much for your contributions and all the happy time we have had. And I will pass it on to Livy.
Oh, thank you. I got so happy to see Lauren being more active in the community. Like, for a long time, it felt like it was just a little bit of Lauren here and there. And it was always this feeling of like wanting to get to know you more and to have your presence more involved, because you always had like such, insightful comments, and it felt like you were very observing and just the quality that you bring to the param. Like the param party that you did, I feel like I finally understood everything. There was this like, oh, things sink in even though you're speaking so fast and going through like everything like a pro. And I'm really happy that you are getting involved as a steward and that you accepted this nomination, because I feel like you can contribute not only in the parameters, but in everything that you like decide to do. It feels like you're that kind of person to just put quality and love and open heart into everything you're interested in and involved in. So welcome. So good to have you among us. And I'll pass to Griff.
Well, it's almost not really fair. I'm madly in love with Lauren. I remember the first time Lauren came into my world, at least through a friend of mine named Danny, and through the Common Simulator, which was the predecessor to the dashboard. And I just remember her doing such incredible work. And then I kept assigning Mitch more technical tasks. And she noticed this, and we had a call, and she's like, I'm a mechanical engineer. Like, I love doing the technical things. I'm really good at stuff. You should start, doing you should, don't give everything to Mitch. And I'm like, oh, okay. My bad, and from then on, I mean, then I came to Costa Rica and fell madly in love, and she never ceases to amaze me every day with how much the quality and quantity of production that she can push forward. I don't know how she has time to be a steward. It's incredible. She's taken on Giveth like on her shoulders to the point where the economy launch is like Lauren's launch, and it's like the Lauren deployment. So the fact that she's able to, on top of that, host the best param parties that we have and edit content, and like she was telling me, I hope I'm not stealing Tam's thunder, but she was telling me that she was in a call with Tam, to go over what it takes to be a steward, and Tam was like, oh, did you read this? And it's like, oh yeah, there's some edits in here actually from you, and it's like she's just everywhere, and with such depth of knowledge, if anyone ever came up and asked Lauren anything in the TC, I know she would answer either with the perfect answer that's really comprehensible, or if she didn't know, she would say she didn't know, and she'd know who to ask. And really, that's what it takes to be a good steward, and I know that she'll be the best. I'll pass it to Wonka.
Thanks, Griff. Well, I would first would like to talk about bye, and bye, man. Don't feel threatened. I mean, you have all the qualities, and the quality of your work and of your contributions in the community is super important. So yeah, I know that it may be complex, but like most of us are learning by doing and just doing the best that we can. So yeah, and thank you for all what you do. And also, Lauren, for me, it has been very special to get to meet you, because I feel that I have gotten to see how like sweet you are as a person, and I feel that that's really cool, and that you are really supporting for everyone. And I really also want to congratulate you for becoming a steward, and also that continue counting with us. And I'll pass to Nate.
Thanks, Wonka. Yeah, so I was trying to think back when I first realized Lauren existed, and like first time like I met her, but I cannot put a pin on it. Like I feel like you've been here forever, like the entire, like longer than I have. And Griff mentioned something that I recognized, was that almost every document that I've ever worked on, like I've seen a comment by you, and I don't know like if you were even participating in that piece of work, but you were there to give your advice. And I was like, oh man, okay, she's everywhere. And so I do remember the first time I actually got to talk to you was during the hatch process. And so I remember you bringing up and actually contending some issues that were going on with voting. And I was like, oh yeah, that's really awesome that she's able to speak up and not hesitate about stating her opinion. And so it's been, your presence has been incredibly valuable during the entire hatch process, and the parameters that you've proposed, and the parameter work that you've done, especially the audio work that you did, is so amazing. I actually showed my wife the configuration dashboard, and she was like, oh sweet, there's a little audio, so I don't actually have to read this, so I can just listen to somebody who can explain it nicely. So it was really nice. So I really appreciate everything that you do here at the TEC, and I'm so glad that you're becoming a steward. So thank you once again. And I'll pass it over to Septimus.
Thank you, Nate. Yeah, like I remember, like the first time I know about you, like I was reading all these forum posts of the hatch. I was, oh, this is very easy to understand. Like, you know, even hard topics, you were making them easy. And then I remember also, like Sam was a bit worried about the hatch description. And I was telling him, dude, ask Lauren, maybe she say yes and she do it, right? And then you did it. You did a very amazing job. And Sam was like, oh, Seth, how did you know, Lauren? I know, I was reading this text and she's very nice. And yeah, Sam loved it. And yeah, I don't know, like, I'm very happy to keep hanging out with you. Like, you've really bring very high vibe, very great DJ. So yeah, thanks for being here. I'll pass it to Chui.
Thank you, Septi. Lauren has been like very special to me, because I can remember like some like specific points in which I was so confused with everything. Like after a few months, like it was like, what am I doing here? Like when that question like gets like what is this? And like dashboard and back when we were using it for the hatch. And I remember Lauren being always so supportive, like the way you always like took information and like reinterpret it in a way that you can share it with everybody else is one of the most special things in our culture, and you're a great base for that. So thank you like always, like every time if you see us like struggling in comms, you always like hop in and say like, oh, like what can I help with? So it's been such a great example for our culture, and I'm super happy that this day came. So congratulations, Lauren. And to Bye, just really quickly, I just feel a lot of respect for everything that you can do, and just such an organic way in which you approach the community. And I echo Juanca with what he said. Like I personally think that you deserve this nomination, and I'm pretty sure that your leadership will make a huge difference for many time in TC. So thanks also for being here. Bye. I'll pass it to Craig, I think is the last one.
Thanks, Chewy. I'll keep it short. I've never had a conversation with Lauren. I'm looking forward to meeting her someday. I did notice her early on. Unlike Griff, I didn't fall madly in love with her, but I did fall madly in love with her handle. I was like, who's this karmatic acid person? And I kept mixing her up with Soul Sister, maybe because their avatars are similar or something. And it took me quite a while to sort of like actually see her face and sort out who she was, and I still love your handle. But yeah, so everything everyone said, yeah, amazing. And just one quick minority opinion for Vi. Clearly everyone loves you and they want you and they think you should be there. But like Tam said, it's important, to respect the boundaries and don't you can continue doing exactly what you're doing. Just, you know that in this space with all these amazing people, whatever you do, you're still going to be awesome and appreciated. So go Tam.
That was a beautiful way to say it. Two more things I just want to add. When I was preparing for Communitas, it was Lauren's video that I took the most notes from. The Griff one at GitHub was really great, but there's all these sound things that kept distracting me. So I feel like there was a lot of, stop and go. And I actually, I copied notes and then read them in Communitas, which I'm not going to do next time because now I have them internal. Vi, you didn't have a chance. I'd like to give you a chance to share your thoughts about your first interactions with Lauren as well.
So I think my first interactions with Lauren probably during the param parties, and so I was trying to make sense of a lot of the parameters back then, and I think it added a lot of value listening to Lauren discuss their parameters, and like whichever parameters they were debating for / discussion. And I think that added a lot of, like, personally, if Lauren were to like write down a book or a course on, understanding how to build economies for communities, I would be down to like go through it, like really go through it, in like the way you binge watch things. And it's really great that you're finally like getting to a Steward. And yeah, I totally resonate with, like that the fact that you add feedback to almost every document, even though we weren't really sure that you were in the call or not, but you always add feedback. So that's really awesome. And yeah, thank you.
Cool. And there's just one person left to speak, and that's Lauren. So please share your thoughts and feelings, and welcome to being a steward. It's really exciting to have you.
Thanks, everyone. Wait, so do I talk about my first impressions of the TC or just like in general vibes?
I'd love to hear that. Please do.
My first impressions of the TC. Oh, well, I mean, what Griffith talked about, this like conversation we had like a really long time ago. I came into Giveth like because a friend of mine, Danny, who was like in an intentional community of hippies that I met. And then I came into this place, and then she started just showing me, like she showed me Discord and invited me to servers, and I had no idea like anything about Web3 stuff or anything about anything that was going on. But I was like, what is this cool, interesting stuff where like the vibes are high and the people are smart? And so I just started like kind of diving more into it. And then I started working on the common simulator, and then the common simulator started like, then from the common simulator, I noticed the common stack, and then I noticed the TEC, and then I was like, token engineering commons. Token engineering, that sounds like something I want to get into. And like I did mechanical engineering when I was like in university, and I really liked the technical things, but I moved away from it because it was like I was working in a office and driving really far away from my house all the time, and just like everybody was angry all the time, and it was like I like doing like challenging technical work, and it was just like, but like what we were working towards wasn't in line with like my values of like wanting the world to be a better place, and wanting people to be more connected, and wanting people to be more free, and wanting people to like be able to provide them for themselves and for their families, and like live a life that's like respectful to the earth and respectful to the creatures of the earth. And it's like coming into the TEC and even just like the blockchain for good like Web3 space was really like inspiring and attractive to me, because it was like I got to use technical thinking brain, but then also it was like everybody was like working together to build more community, like with the TEC and like the big focus we have on the cultural build, and just like the importance of like our connections and supporting each other. And even just like this kind of meeting where it's like, oh, like everybody go around and awkwardly make Lauren comfortable for saying nice things to her for a while. Like, oh, but it's so valuable, and it's so nice, and like making us feel like a family. And I think fundamentally what we're doing is like creating infrastructure and technology that's like gonna change the way our economies work, and then change governments work, and just like change things in like a huge way, but like from the bottom up, and then like coming together like as a team. And it's like so inspiring and like so fulfilling. And now I have like just like a working problem. I have a working problem because I got so engaged in everything that's going on here, and I'm like really grateful to be part of the TC Stewards, and then also like get to know everybody here more. I know you all a little bit, but like even more, and like build stronger and stronger relationships and connections, like not only like within Params, but also throughout the whole community. And yeah, thank you so much for nominating me and for accepting me and making me feel awkward. I recorded this call so I could watch it later and cry.
Yeah, no, it's us that thank you for accepting. And we have a latecomer who I think has perhaps a very interesting perspective as well. I don't know, Mitch, do you want to share the story of, we've all shared our stories of when we first came into contact with Lauren and the things that we appreciate about her, but I think you have a longer history than many of us here. So would you like to share that?
Growth of like a personal and a professional relationship has been over a year now, or almost a year. So it's been really interesting growing our skills together and learning more about each other along the way.
Cool. That's really sweet. Thanks for sharing that. I wish I had a buddy here where I live that I could hang out with every day. That'd be awesome. I gotta make one. Cool. So I know that I hope everyone really enjoyed this. I know that Chewy has something that he really needs our opinion on, so we're going to move to that. And in the last 10 minutes of business, I'm going to pass the floor to Chewy to lead this discussion. And thanks again, Lauren. Really, really, really so glad you're a steward with us now.
Congratulations, Lauren, and well, yeah, I didn't want to take like a lot of time. I just wanted to like throw an open question and see if anyone here has been related or has maybe had some reads about the Gnosis chain merge. I mean, it looks like it's happening. That doesn't really have changed, but as time passes by, like just the community conviction grows more, and just everyone is like in a mindset of, okay, it's probably gonna happen. So I just wanted to raise it as an open question, see if anybody has had any thoughts on this. And just a quick reminder, the TEC is going to have like a representation in a multisig where Gnosis tokens are being deposited. There is going to be like, I think it's like 35 million with the current price. But I wanted to ask if anybody has had any thoughts about like any incentives or anything that you would like to, any initiatives around this, and even better if we could define our position of commitment to the success of the chain, not really like committed to the chain itself, but committed to the success in the short term. So yeah, I'll pass it to whoever wants to share an opinion on this. And if someone wants to know like more information, we can probably dive into the document and check it.
I think that, you know, we're on this chain, so I think we are committed to this chain and the success of this chain, regardless of our decisions later on. If we decide to move chains, it's not like we're going to be rooting against the Gnosis chain in general. So I don't have any problem with you representing the TEC and, you know, on this DAO. I think it's really, really awesome that you're doing it, and I think that I'm in full support of this chain. I don't see any reason why anybody would be against it, but yeah, just throwing that out there.
So in a general way, would everybody agree with the statement of the TEC being committed to the Gnosis chain success in a short term, so we can participate in this?
Absolutely. I mean, we are committed to being on this chain. And personally, let me just say, like, XDAI's management, overall management, has been poor. Like, it's not on Zapper. It's not considered a chain to the masses. If you're not deep in the world, in the system, then they don't know about it, which affects the TEC directly. So if Gnosis is willing to take it on, get it on Zapper, get it an Etherscan version of Block Explorer, get it these other things that are needed for all the players to interact with XDAI in an easy way, because there's a lot and it's behind the scenes boring shit. But Gnosis is willing to take it on, and POA Network clearly hasn't been. So I think it's a major leg up, and I'm pretty sure that TC has no plans of hopping ship anytime soon, you know? So yeah, very much.
I mean, I also have no objection. It's not, I like the way that Nate phrased it. We're not going to root against them, even if we were to move to a separate chain. I don't see any clear reason why we wouldn't be on the, we're committed to the chain's success. I really don't see any reason why we wouldn't. So yeah, I have nothing to even compare it, or I have nothing to, I have no downside that I see.
Okay, so just a straight question. Would anybody consider blocking this? And before we move forward, just to like check in a very, very specific way.
So I don't consider blocking it, but I would say it's so nebulous, the TEC's commitment. Like, that's just, it's such a weird statement. You know what I mean? Like, who's the TEC? Does the community commit to the chain? Does the stewards commit? I just, you know, to be pedantic, it doesn't have any real meaning behind it. You know? But I think we could say that as the stewards of the TEC, that we are committed to the chain's success and would like to help in any way that we can.
Okay, I'll move forward with this, just supporting the XDAO idea, and I think there's gonna be like a sync call tomorrow. But yeah, I'm gonna look into any other specifications that we would need to be aware of. And just on the top of my mind, I feel that considering our, let's say like our service DAOs, like Gravity and Comms, I feel that both can offer different like perspectives on asking for some kind of grant from Gnosis. Probably like most projects are gonna ask like for liquidity or something, but I feel that we could be very, very let's say like get a chance to make a different proposal, right? Like trying to fund the animation team for coming up with more educational videos. And I'm pretty sure that Gravity could also use some kind of grant for not even like for the sake of it being a grant, but also because it can offer a lot of potential to spread the word about Gravity and the XI community. And I mean, if it's looking like the DAO chain and like all of these like different and interesting insights, I feel that our service DAOs could be in a very good place to try something different. So yeah, I mean, I guess that's all I have to say. And if anybody would like to add something in these last 2 minutes, go ahead. Or otherwise, I'll pass it back to you.
Cool. Any other thoughts about it? I mean, are they even clear what it means to be committed? Let me just ask that. What is it like? What does it mean to be committed? Is there like Gnosis defines commitment as these three things? Maybe it's like participating in the multi-sig, having a representative from the community, right? So it's, yeah, those things seems safe to commit to.
Yeah, I feel that pretty much anything that brings growth to the chain. So just by putting out the augmented bonding curve, I think like we're on the other side of that. But yeah, I guess it's cool that this is happening. So I'll keep everyone posted about this.
Yeah, thanks, Chewy. This is really amazing that we're linked up this way.
And just really quick before the end of the call, I just want to say we're successfully past I actually haven't checked, but the Hatch DAO raised enough quorum, so that's great. So that's going to pass. And then tomorrow we're doing the demo for Gardens to do the first like community demo of a Commons upgrade. So it's kind of a big, I think it's a big deal for us. So it's the first time a DAO has ever upgraded into a Commons, and it's it will probably work tomorrow. We feel pretty good about it, but it is a demo. So I think it's worth advertising and worth promoting and getting excited about. This is pretty big, so that's exciting, and we'll do it during the community call tomorrow.
Cool. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Tom. Thanks, Lauren.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
See
Thanks,
you later.
everyone.
Bye.